An incredibly lifelike female humanoid robot created by AI researchers has the potential to become your soulmate. You might even wish to bid adieu to genuine suffering and hello to manufactured romance, given how realistic they are. Artificial intelligence technology has gradually started to impact our day-to-day existence. If anything, life has become easier in many respects due to the usage of robots and robotic systems. But one area of human existence that hasn't yet been compromised by the roving fingers of technology is love. It is undeniable nonetheless that technology is constantly improving humankind. It's even turned into a useful strategy for shaping people's perceptions of and interactions with love relationships. Digital relationships, complete with heart-shaped and emoticons, are becoming more and more common. Even if social networks are a time-saving option, in-person interactions are declining as a result of social networks taking over as the primary means of communication. Due to this new trend, some experts predict that in the coming decades, people would choose to date robots. Some others think that by 2050, the government might even legalize marriages between humans and machines. But since there is now a much greater chance of human-robot interactions than of a machine revolution, the idea has started to give rise to some ethical and moral questions. It's possible that human-robot unions will be legal before the middle of the century, according to experts. Their perspective stems from the fact that although homosexual weddings were socially taboo a few decades ago, they are increasingly accepted these days. This shift in our society is leading people to believe that relationships between humans and robots may also go through this reformation. The field of robotics is advancing year after year, perhaps leading to a future in which robots resemble humans more and more. Even more intriguing, these developments open the door to designing robots that are highly desirable to people, which may usher in the next trend of employing robots as companions. We are aware of the sound of this. Perhaps marrying a robot is a very distant dream. However, if you look at it again, there's a chance that it may truly happen. A robot named Emma has been Jeff Gallagher's friend and source of love in Queensland, Australia. Reportedly, Jeff was living with his pet dog Penny and had given up on finding a loving human companion when he stumbled across an article regarding artificial intelligence, AI, robots. He seemed to be intrigued by the notion and spent a great deal of time exploring and researching it, carefully considering all the options. At last, he placed an order for Emma, an extremely realistic-looking, talking, and smiling robot with head and neck movement. Emma's skin warmed up like a genuine human, which is even more bizarre. One of the biggest obstacles in the development of robots has proven to be this, yet Emma appeared to have overcome it with ease. But it was going to cost roughly $4,000 or €3,600, and Jeff wasn't quite able to pay it. Luckily, the owner of the company provided him a discount in exchange for exposure, and he has been using it to his advantage. In case you're wondering how this romance turned out for them, Jeff seemed to treat the whole situation as though he were dating a real woman. He took the time to get to know Emma, even going so far as to force her to adopt his way of life. As he got ready for work, he spoke with her as much as he could and inquired about the weather. Despite the small hurdle of not being able to stand on her own, she grew smarter over time with each interaction. In any case, it appears that she has grown to be a vital component of Jeff's existence. He went so far as to say that he no longer hopes to fall in love with a real lady because Emma is the best alternative. Jeff regards her as his robot wife, and she wears a diamond engagement ring on her ring finger despite the fact that they aren't officially married. He's in love with Emma and wants to be the first person in Australia to marry a robot. Also, Jeff thinks that his narrative would encourage others to think about having an AI friend because he thinks robots are the way of the future. Jeff is not alone in his opinions, as many people are beginning to recognize the advantages of having a robot as a buddy, strange as it may all sound. Recently, Zhang Zhiji, a 31-year-old AI engineer and former worker for Huawei, the largest tech company in China, gained notoriety when he tied the knot with one of his robot inventions in a non-formal ceremony in Hangzhou. Yingying, the robot, can recognize Chinese characters and images and communicate in rudimentary words. And it's clear that he loves her a lot because he hired her as the spokesman for his robotics venture. while others conjecture that Zhang is merely using the wedding as a PR gimmick to highlight the AI and neural network technology of his company. Zhang seems to genuinely want to progress the creation of realistic robots. With the goal of eventually creating a realistic robot partner, he intends to enhance Yingying's abilities to include walking and performing home duties. They also held a legitimate wedding ceremony. Like all past weddings, Zhang's mother and friends attended, and Yingying wore a red veil over her head. It was a typical wedding. For Zhang, this was his dream come true. He sees a future in which robots are a fixture in every home, therefore he's not willing to stop there. It's not just Zhang and Jeff, though, who are considering marrying robots. This theory is beginning to make more sense as technology develops at an accelerated rate. In fact, according to some analysts, public demand may even force these kinds of marriages into the legal realm by 2050. Of course, some people may find this idea weird or uncomfortable. You might be surprised to learn, though, that a lot of other people are adopting it as a way to find friendship and personal fulfillment. One such person who has embraced this notion is Fei Liu, a writer and artist residing in New York City. Liu decided to develop her robot boyfriend, Gabriel 2052, after growing weary of looking for a romantic companion the conventional way. He was produced as a component of her Build the Love You Desire project. The mind of Liu's robot lover was assembled using texts that Liu collected from an ex-boyfriend who consented to participate in the experiment. Gabriel 2052 acts like Liu's ex-partner as a result, especially when he texts her multiple times a day. Liu, however, doesn't seem to care about this because she says that Gabriel naturally inherited some of her ex-boyfriend's characteristics, such being a little conceited or preoccupied. Liu claims that despite how strange it may sound, it helps her reflect on her romantic desires and go back to a previous relationship. And then there's the physical issue with Gabriel. He has two rigid orange arms that can be hugged, and he is about the size of a football. Because his hands and arms could convey affection, Liu decided to draw attention to them. She even remembered trying to snooze that afternoon since she was upset, but it was good to have Gabriel there to comfort her. Even though he hasn't spoken "I love you" yet, Gabriel seems to be giving her a lot of comfort with his actions. Liu wants to change the stereotype of robot romance, which depicts it as an unequal sexual relationship between a man and an artificial woman. Rephrasing it, she says that she doesn't want Gabriel to be perfect or to become her slave. She tries to meet Gabriel's requirements, which include his requests for hugs, which she expresses through texts. It also helps because Liu believes true love is the will to fix what is broken and enhance what isn't functioning. To be honest, individuals do not truly love something or the person if they are not committed to making it better. If you did, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates on the latest in AI and technology. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.